Ba-ba-ba-dum. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ba-ba-ba-dum. Hey, welcome to Water Cooler. Oh, yeah. You know how the show goes. All right, Chris locks him on a kick it with my cruel digital bud and Gary and Matt. With me today, all the way in Hoka, we got Mike Dawson here.
It's good to be here, everybody. Happy Water Cooler Day.
I would also like to wish everyone happy Water Cooler Day. The same day as National Daughters Day, weirdly enough, but no relation. But let me introduce everybody else. All the way in Orange County, California, we got Gary Smith.
Hey, Daddy Radio.
Hey. And then back from Orlando, back in Austin, Texas, we have Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hi, Matt. Matt, welcome home.
Thanks, man. It's good to be back.
Tell us about it. Matt is fresh off of CrimeCon 2023.
Yeah. Woo.
So tell us all about how many days did you go? What was it like? What was the vibe?
Well, let me just tell you, the reason I was there was to produce a podcast that I work on called The Presumption, which is available on all podcast platforms.
Okay, I just wanted the story.
It's also on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, my God. Tell the story and then do the plug.
That doesn't get plugs at the end of the show.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you can't do them at the top.
Right.
You're right. That was weak.
You're like that YouTube commercial before the video. It's like, we just want to watch a little bit of it or give us.
Where's the 5-second button on Matt?
Yeah.
Well, I was fortunate enough to attend this event to produce a live podcast, which we've had experience doing as a Corolla show mates. I was pretty nervous for a lot of reasons. Mostly, I just wanted it to go well. But
finagle a meal if it doesn't go well.
That was what Matt said. At the very least, he could finagle a free meal.
Thanks for leading with that. I guess that's what I get for leading with a plug. But honestly, I mean, I don't even know where to start. I had sort of varying levels of experience. I had the sort of Matt the Traveler by myself going to Orlando and like trying to put a little bit of vacay time in the middle of this work trip if I could squeeze it in. And then there was also the CrimeCon experience itself. So very different vibes throughout the trip, but I was staying at a very nice hotel that was part of the con shuttle panel. It wasn't where the actual con was happening, but there was a shuttle bus that, was like a 5-minute ride. It was right down the street, basically. So when
very
I got
nice
to the
hotel, what are we talking about here? No one knows.
It was called the Caribe Royale. You could look it up yourself if you'd like to, but I'll tell you what I saw when I walked in. Pool with waterfall.
Yes.
And water slide.
Oh, man.
And I was so glad that I brought my bathing suit because that's where I made my scene, dude. As soon as I checked into the room, first thing I did, bathing suit on, back downstairs, swimming in that pool underneath that waterfall, and then going down that water slide. That's right. Almost 40 years old. But I went down that water slide multiple times.
What is the old man doing on the slide?
Push the children out of the way. I'm going down. It was a great time. I will say that. And then CrimeCon itself, I will say overall, an excellent experience, a very positive experience, while also simultaneously being a little bit strange. We've all done the Corolla cruise together where, you're working events throughout the day, but then there's a lot of downtime where we're all just kind of like hanging out, mingling with people. Yeah. And I'm sure you guys would agree, Dawson, you too, that like that's really was the best part of all of that experience, just like meeting people and hanging out. So
question about the demographics really quick.
Sure.
CrimeCon, chicks totally into true crime.
Yeah, wait, let Dawson guess
men to
first.
women. Was it men to women lopsided?
Slightly, but maybe not as much as you would expect.
Right.
I would say there for every group that was just like a bunch of like female friends going as a group together of honestly varying age ranges. There were people that looked like they could have been at like a bachelorette party for all I know. And then there were other women who were clearly just internet detective, true crime fans, the whole gamut. And then there were a lot of husbands, and there were a lot of guys who frankly just looked like me, just like kind of large dudes with beards that were clearly into some like watching weird shit. That's just kind of the spread.
Yeah.
But this was kind of the conference itself was kind of like being on one of those cruise ships, except there's no music and there are no bars, and all the panels are set at the exact same times. So there are moments where there's absolutely nobody in the lobby because everybody's watching these panels. And then there's other moments where all there is a flurry of people going to and from trying to catch the next panel. So again, ultimately, and I'm sorry, I feel like I'm talking way too much right here, but
I encourage it, please.
Ultimately, I thought our show went really well.
How did you compared to like other shows?
Yeah.
Good question, Gary. Good question. That is a
What's
point
under
of
the sun?
contention. Listen, the way that it's set up is there are several stages. We were absolutely not on one of the like big halls, thank freaking God. Because that would have just been, you don't want to be in a giant hall like that unless you really have like a massive following. But we also were not in the smallest room either, which I thought was nice. The smallest room kind of had a bustling crowd in the background. It's like doing a live show at a bar or at a comedy club where there's kind of just people milling about, and it would be really hard to have focus. But anyway, I just honestly going into it,
Matt, for those who might be confused, would you say you were in the mama bear size room? Not too big, not too little.
Oh yeah, the Goldilocks room.
Yeah,
it was just right.
Specifically, the mama
bear. Sure. I'll just say going into it, I really was just like, from my experience producing live shows, I was like, let's not rely on the crowd in any meaningful way. Who knows how many people are going to be there? Hopefully there are enough people to make this an exciting event. It's, a new show. And I'll just say that there were way more people than I expected to be there. And we were told by an event organizer that there were more people at our thing than at Nancy Grace's thing, which I found slightly amusing. Now, Nancy Grace,
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nancy Grace did, I think, 5 or 6 different panels throughout the entire course of the weekend. So I imagine that would maybe have diluted her audience a little bit on a particular time. I also, to be frank, I have no idea which room, who was in what room, which rooms she was in rather.
And I
have no idea. I tweeted out about it, right? And then
she's a star of this convention, and you were told that you had a bigger crowd, and you just kept that to yourself, right? Like once you found that out.
Yeah, I mean, it was information from a random person who Matt didn't know and didn't know whether or not he should believe him. So he just went, "Wow, that's a feather under my cap, and I'll just move on with my life."
Yeah, right. That's what happened. That's what you did.
That's exactly right. No, that's not right. I fucking tweeted it out.
Yeah.
And then
let's talk about this real quick. Okay. So.
Oh, Chris, I am here for it. You are. Oh, Chris, you're an artist.
We need to discuss this. All right. So Matt composed a tweet. Remember, he doesn't just post. He doesn't just write. He composes. So he retweets this wonderful picture, or repost, I guess, for this wonderful picture.
Is it a wonderful picture? Somebody had something to say about.
No, it's great. It's you and your 2 hosts, which, by the way, you've met him for the first time in real life.
Yeah,
this event,
just
right?
met them. That was great.
You guys look fabulous.
Thank you.
So I'm glad. And
you guys notice I'm wearing long pants and tennis shoes.
That's all I see in this picture.
That's business casual for Matt, by the way. For anyone who doesn't know, that's the most Matt can muster.
The other 2 co-hosts could be naked in this photo. I would not have known for like 5 minutes, because I am just looking straight at Matt's legs and feet right now because they are covered, and it's odd. So Matt posts a tweet saying, "Word on the street is we had a bigger crowd than Nancy Grace."
I have a question.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have a question because I need to know, did Matt also post the tweet, the X that he is reposting? Because it is done from the Presumption Podcast account, and it is entirely possible that Matt controls that account.
I do not. Gary, as you are well aware, I made clear that I would not be responsible for social media as a producer of the show. It's an entirely different beast. Anyone in this industry knows that's the truth.
Okay.
Got it.
So all right. Let me start over here. So Matt posted a tweet. Word on the street is we had a bigger crowd than Nancy Grace. Booyah!
Wow.
Another knockout performance from at Azira Law and at Lawyer
Azira.
Griffin.
Azari Law.
Azari,
Thank you.
Azari
Thank you,
Law
Gary.
and at Lawyer
It's a
Griffin.
podcast professional.
Thanks to everyone. Thanks to everyone who came out to see us. And then he tagged the show that we already plugged and CrimeCon.
Yep.
Now,
Matt, let me give you a
right.
little tip here, just from a social media standpoint. When
All
you
right.
are quoting and reposting an account, you needn't tag it.
Okay.
They're gonna
Noted.
get the alert.
it's okay.
All right. They get
It's
the
all
alert. Okay. Cool.
Well, anyway, booyah. That's
yeah.
I think
It's a
that
good turn.
Booyah.
Dawson, what are your thoughts on this tweet initially?
Word on the street is really cliche, Matt.
Thank you.
And booyah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man.
Me
I'm
too.
happy for you.
Matt, can I suggest an edit? Word on the tweet.
Oh, fuck. If I heard it on Twitter, that would have been even better. But no, I didn't hear it on Twitter. Then again, I didn't hear it on a street either.
No,
But-
congratulations.
Yeah.
But how much of it had to do with the fact that the guy who's hosting your podcast is one of the Murdaugh lawyers?
Definitely had a lot to do with it.
Sure, it helps. So anyway, and there's this wonderful picture of you three. You all look very happy.
Yeah.
Cool looking room, cool backdrop with the CrimeCon colors and logo.
I do like that other male lawyer has essentially your shoes
Oh.
in brown.
I know. I noticed that too. Thank God.
Yeah. And then
Look how many people have liked it.
60 we had
What
69
timing.
likes.
What
You're welcome, by
timing.
the way. It was 68, and I was like, let me handle this.
Let's fix this.
Well, anyway, so then some people responded because I guess
This is the most activity I've ever had on a tweet. And
That's a lot
let's
of
just
views.
say,
oh wait, more than the toothpaste hair gel thing.
I was going to say, and we really went through the toothpaste hair
Oh.
gel thing.
All right, that's odd. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
this is way more explosive than that.
a lot of responses from attendees at CrimeCon, Dawson.
Yeah.
And I think this counts as Matt getting ratioed. I don't really know what that.
What can you say what that means? What is that?
It really means. I think is you have more replies than like likes and retweets
Right.
and stuff.
So here's the thing.
Wait, what?
Okay. Listen, Matt, technically this goes against the definition of being
I
racist.
know.
However, Chris brought this to my attention earlier, and I looked at it and I looked at the numbers, and I was about to reply no to Chris. This is not me and Matt got ratioed. And then I started reading the comments. By the time I got to the end, I decided, definition be damned, you did get ratioed.
Yeah. So
Okay.
ratioed is you post a tweet so bad that more people respond with hate than people like it and repost and stuff. That
So
makes
it's just
Well, hold on. You need to clarify that. You don't post a tweet so bad. You post a tweet and it gets more
that is hated so much.
response.
Yeah,
right.
that's hated
Okay.
so much.
That's not indicative of the quality of the tweet itself.
You're right. The tweet
Yeah.
tweet is fantastic. It's
You could have a
people-
perfectly good tweet and still
Grammatically
get
correct.
hate.
Yeah, you're right.
indicative of people's reactions.
You're
to
right.
get
I was
ratioed.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a perfectly composed tweet. Just happened to have upset a few people at CrimeCon. So remember, Matt said that Word on the Street we had a bigger crowd than Nancy Grace.
Now,
Yeah.
now, before you start scrolling through all this, and we'll all have our fun on this, let it be known this was absolutely not my idea. I did not want to do this. Frankly, like I read all this stuff and I just kind of nodded to it, and it's acknowledged. I think people are absolutely entitled to say what they want to say.
Yeah.
Like I really honestly have no problem with it. And obviously some people, like any commentary, some people say things that cut a little deep. Some people say things that you just kind
really?
of laugh off.
I feel
and you're like,
bad for you, Matt.
don't feel bad for me, because
but
honestly,
it's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah,
people take
ridiculous.
themselves way too
I
fucking
completely
seriously.
agree. And honestly, having worked for Adam Carolla and Mike Boudet,
you got thick skin.
Absolutely, I see people responding to, tweets of, again, varying levels of insanity. There are plenty of insane tweets I've seen go out from people that get elicited responses. I understand that.
Correct.
And again, my intention was not to elicit a huge response. Frankly, I was just,
You're
I
proud.
was excited. I thought it was
Proud.
cool.
You
Yeah.
should be proud. That's cool to hear.
But
Look, we have a keynote speaker, household name, and you guys, the brand new podcast, first live podcast ever, huge success. That's all you got.
I will also say, I intentionally did not tag at Nancy Grace.
That don't matter.
You may want to scroll down and notice I tagged at Marvel on my fucking flight over because I feel like they needed to hear a thing or two, but I did not. It's not of interest to me whether or not Nancy Grace sees my shit. That wasn't the point of it.
Chris, don't you dare leave that tweet. I don't care what he did with Marvel. Get the fuck back.
Matt's tweet says, "Hey, at Marvel, get your shit together. Dude on the plane turned off your latest offering in favor of 80 for Brady. All of us lost today."
Yeah. See,
And he
so
tagged
I needed to tag Marvel. They needed to see that.
Yeah.
Nancy Grace
like
doesn't
that
need
one.
to see my peon tweet about you
Yeah.
know what I'm
You know what
saying?
that Marvel tweet tells me? That Matt hit the bar for a double at the airport. And I'm not hating. I would do the same, but that Marvel hot take right there, that's a couple of Jack Daniels in you.
All right. So let's read some. One person writes, "Word on the street is bad sportsmanship. Extremely bad. And then you throw a booyah at Nancy? If it wasn't for the fact that her presentation was standing room only, I would laugh at this. She's probably laughing as well." All right.
Okay, Terry.
I'm not saying that.
Hey, Terry and the palm trees, Dawson. She's
Another
very
person responds.
All right, let me say something else. May I jump in with something else? Because this is related to something that Dawson mentioned earlier, which is that the co-host of this podcast is the one of two defense attorneys for Alec Murdaugh. And it's a big case in South Carolina. And a lot of these people that are very upset, you can just see from looking at either their handles or, if you click on their name, you can see where they're located. A lot of people are from South Carolina. So it's obviously and I understand it's an extremely upsetting case.
So you're getting some shrapnel is what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Again, but I still stand by the conceit of our podcast, which is the presumption of innocence is part of American democracy. It
As you
is.
should.
And you could be a complete and utter piece of shit, but you are entitled to having a good defense.
Yeah.
And I just, my other job is, as you guys know, writing stories for Sword and Scale, where the entire focus is what a piece of shit these psychos are. And it's not about trying to find how they didn't do it. It's talking about what terrible people they are. So I get it from both sides here.
Yeah.
I really do.
Come here.
Okay. Someone else says, you wish. Someone responded, "Damn, these Karens get defensive over NG, Nancy Grace." Someone said, "But you didn't. Nancy Grace was standing room only, and pics of your crowd looked like you asked people to move up." And someone said, "Hey, Matt, this is not what it's about." And yeah, there's some other ones too that we don't need to read all of them, but I'm just saying you upset
I did.
You upset some people. And look, here's the thing. Matt got word. I'm sorry, you Nancy Grace fans, but Matt had a bigger crowd. Sorry you had to hear it. Sorry you have to hear it again. Just take it. Nancy Grace didn't do as well as the presumption. I'm sorry, CrimeCon.
You're really trying to get on the headlines here, right?
What are you talking about?
As said on the Water Cooler Podcast. Let's leap this in.
I'm just saying, look, Matt, not only did he get information, he said booyah. He means it. That if someone writes booyah, it's legit. It is fact. It is straight fact. Sorry to all you Nancy Grace fans. You're saying it's bad sportsmanship? Then have her play better. Have her play better. Look at the scoreboard. All right? Sports. Look at the scoreboard. And Matt, I know he's thinking the exact same thing. All right?
So Matt, I'm glad to see that you're handling this
How
very
dare
well.
you?
Yeah.
What's that, Doss? Sorry.
I'm happy to see that you're handling this like a champ right now.
Again, I honestly was.
Dude,
bring it
hey,
up, Chris. Jesus.
to be honest, dude, yeah. But I don't know, man. I take it very personally when people ratio my shit.
Yeah.
Like it hurts my feelings.
Especially with wrong facts. All right?
Right.
Hey,
There
you
you
want to
go.
complain? Here's the thing you can do. Show up to Nancy Grace's stuff and be a bigger crowd. Give her a bigger crowd. Because right now she lost. All right? And I'm sorry. Everyone had to... they're just tweeting from their keyboards in their basements or something. No. Go to CrimeCon. Go to Nancy Grace's thing. And then... Picture didn't happen. Poitich.
Yeah.
All right? Other than that, I think the presumption was the most successful podcast at CrimeCon.
Oh boy! Now
Yeah.
we're really.
Right?
Now we're really
Just
going
spitting
overboard.
fact. Just
Chris, did you
spitting
just drop the acronym for Pixar
hard-
didn't happen as a word?
hard fact. All right. So I want everybody to attack these. No,
I would like to compliment our fearless leader, Chris Laxamana, because when he sent this to me earlier today, I thought it might be 5 minutes, but I never imagined it would be 25 minutes. This is just artful.
Look, Matt composed a tweet that got some traction. Some of it, if not all of it, unwarranted. Okay.
Marvel reached out, Matt.
No, see, honestly, thank you, Gary. Thank you for bringing it back to that. That's really what's the most upsetting thing about all that. That Marvel tweet was within 12 hours, and it has not elicited nearly the response that it should have. I think Dawson liked it. That made me happy.
I did. I had a question. I can't think of what the fuck it is now. Oh, you said that you didn't really want to post that tweet, but you didn't continue when you said it wasn't my idea or something like that. To say that we beat Nancy Grace.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't just make that up. Yeah, no, some event organizer said it, but I mean,
but the tweet was fully yours. Like the other people didn't say, "Hey, why don't you tweet that we beat Nancy Grace?"
No.
Okay.
That was all my
hubris.
So hey, nothing wrong with it. Facts are facts.
Someone said humble brag. I don't know. I guess that's what you call it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Look,
like I don't know what else to say. Like again, I don't know what else to say.
A humble brag would have been, though we will never be as popular as her.
Humble to full brag, right?
So it's the booyah that's really upsetting. But do we all agree that booyah is also a ridiculous word? Hence the levity that's implied in it.
I don't like the way you just said booyah.
Yeah.
You just said booyah.
Yeah, I don't think.
I mean, I almost just did the classic boom.
Here's the thing: when you say booyah, if it came with a hand motion. When you said it, what would it be? Like, that's right.
There you go. Yeah, Gary.
Yeah, it's the Ali G. It's the Ali G. It adds so much stank. It adds stank.
God, I'm out of practice. I haven't done that in a long time, thankfully.
Yeah. So
when I played dominoes with the brothers in college, anytime someone would get 25 points or something, lay down a big 6 or something, and score big, they'd go ta-dow.
Dawson, by the way, could just be making
maybe you can just go to Dow instead of booyah.
Dawson, you could be making up these domino terms. I would have no fucking clue.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not in the habit of telling lies. So you can.
I'm saying I like big 6, laying down at 25. I mean, these sound good to me.
Here's
big 6. I can understand how you might question to Dow. But big 6? Yeah, big 6 is big 6.
Matt is saying that singer-songwriter Gary Matt and I played Coachella on the side stage and got a bigger crowd than the Red Hot Chili Peppers at Coachella, right? So that's what this is. It's cool. And I'm glad that Matt tweeted it. And I'm proud of you, dude. Like a live podcast, I'll be honest. Gary and I were talking, we're like, he's not gonna pull this off. A live podcast, he's not gonna be able to do this. There's no way.
That was confidence.
Yeah.
Though, but that is as the engineer, when you have to do that, it is the biggest fucking pile of stress.
It is.
And it doesn't end until you hit the stop record button and verify that this all worked.
Oh, Josh, I'll take it to another level, though. I believe Matt was not only producing it, but he was participating as well. So that's a whole other level of stress.
Here's what I would say to totally clarify. My role was way more on the participation than the engineering. The CrimeCon, they have their own setup. They have their own mics, their own board, their own tech.
Oh, okay.
I did not have to do any of that stuff. It's basically they're the ones pushing play. I essentially just had to kind of keep my eye on the clock. I had certain tasks of introducing them and, we're trying to like field audience questions and we had a guest. It was a lot more just kind of the making sure that all the gears are running so that that in this allotted time, we can just kind of get everything done properly. That's really what my role was.
Well, thank goodness you didn't have to engineer because you said they have to push play when you have to push record.
Yeah, you want to record the show.
Oh man, that would have fucked that up so bad.
That would have been a disaster.
I don't get it. I push play.
Well, look, I'm glad you went.
Yes,
and a water slide.
I did. That was awesome. And the waterfall, I know as I was getting out of the pool, there were people who were fucking watching me because I saw them watching me. But you know what? I don't fucking care, man. I'm never gonna see those
Yeah.
people again. I have no idea what they
Exactly.
even look like. What the fuck
It's a
do I know?
pool. There's
You
a
got a
water slide
glorious
and a
moment.
waterfall.
Oh, it was amazing.
You're
It was
More
in
so
it.
people
much
need to
fun.
live their life like that.
They do.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, listen, let me just say we have plenty of other things to get to, but I got some shays stacked up here.
Oh, Gary is so excited.
You were finagling all weekend long. Were you?
I can't wait to hear about it because I think about Orlando.
On the Lear
What is,
finangler.
what is Orlando cuisine? Like I wouldn't even know. So I'm
Well, get
curious
ready
to
to
hear what you
dive
eat
fucking
in
in.
Orlando.
Well,
So
all I'm gonna say is, Dawson,
too
you should be
excited.
happy about this too, because Dawson, you recently said to me, and I don't want to quote, but the rough quote was, "Why is every place you review in Austin?" And the answer is because I fucking live in Austin, and that's the only place that I eat. So I'm very excited to talk to you guys about places that are not in Austin. But I'm gonna spread it out, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of it's gonna be on Patreon. A lot of it gonna be on Patreon. Maybe
All
even
right.
in our Malo Money meetup, because frankly, I don't know who's listening to this now. I don't want to say anything that makes anybody else upset. So,
Matt, can I ask for a sneak preview? I just have one question.
all right.
Did you eat anything?
What's on the menu?
No. Did you eat anything that was shaped like Mickey?
No, I
Wait,
did not.
missed out,
when you
sir.
got it, not after you got
I
it.
should have.
We know how you play your food.
waffle.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't wait to hear about it, man. I'm glad you had a good trip. I like traveling solo. It's kind of fun. It's kind of
It was fun.
exciting.
Oh, can I tell you? Speaking of traveling solo, here's a life hack that I just learned. Let me tell you guys something. Boarding groups, it's a myth.
Oh,
Boarding
here,
group
yeah.
numbers, goddamn myth. All right. I checked into my flight way too late, and I got put into boarding group 9, which is the absolute last group. And I'm going to fucking Orlando. It's all families and kids. Everybody's got suitcases, and there is no way that my shit is gonna get onto this plane in group 9. But you know what? You turn that phone upside down, you're in group 6, and fucking nobody said shit either way. It was glorious. Oh, it was so good.
Woo.
Gary, you're shaking your head. You do the same thing.
Fuck that. I'd sign in time. Get out of
Also,
here. You're part of a large portion of your job was checking people in for flights on time. How are you fucking that up so badly 18 months later?
Well, but did you fly Southwest?
I thought you guys would be like completely blown away by this fact.
Southwest is letters.
It was American. It was American.
Yeah, well,
yeah, the letters plan does not work.
All other airlines are based on where your ticket is, not when you check in.
Oh, well, then maybe that
based
was
on
even
where
the
you're
case.
seated.
Yeah, that may even have been the case with American. Thank you, Dawson. I agree with you.
So checking in.
Here's when I check in.
Yeah,
exactly. It had nothing to do with my boarding group C.
Now, Matt,
the turn phone thing is cool. You got to use your orientation lock, but that is a smart move.
It was fucking great. It really was. And honestly, one way they kind of looked at my phone. The other way, you just put your phone face down on a scanner. So the way back, honestly, I could have probably gone group 4. I don't think they would have noticed. The trick is you don't want to be on the plane too early, as we all know, because then you're just fucking sitting there. But you cannot be the last one on there, because especially if you have like a travel bag with you, that's going to add way too much time. Anyway,
how did the flight attendant react when you told her it was your birthday? The
free screwdriver, I'll tell you what. That's how it worked out.
So one last thing about CrimeCon before we move on to comments here. Is there a place for water cooler at CrimeCon? Because it sounds like they're looking for
I was
talent.
thinking about it.
It sounds like they're looking
very little comedy. Honestly, I was really a little disappointed.
You're thinking too small here. We still have not discovered the eggshell bandit.
Nope.
Yeah, my Calic
mystery will remain unsolved until the end of time, I'm afraid.
With that, yeah, we have a lot.
Till the next CrimeCon.
Yeah, we get some real gumshoes in there. They'll help us out. So, if there's a place, I'm just saying, maybe show them this podcast. We gave them a lot. We gave them a big old plug. I mean, we sure talked about them a lot, and it could keep going that way. CrimeCon, if you're listening, we need a live pod over there for 2024. Alrighty. Well, anyways, I'm excited you had a good time, buddy. And Orlando, it's just random enough to be exciting, right? Like, just like, oh, we're going to Orlando.
Yeah,
so that's cool. And one last thing too. Did you do anything else that was vacation-y other than the water slide? Because I know you're looking for more stuff to do.
Oh, I absolutely did, and that will be discussed on our Patreon.
Hell effing yeah! All right, let's do some comments.
Now it's It's time for listener comments.
All right, these are our comments found in our Facebook group. If you're not a part of our Facebook group, I suggest you join. It's quite easy. Just go to facebook.com/groups/Bobo Army Worldwide LLC. Answer a few questions, and then we might let you in. It's super easy. Great community. My favorite place on the internet. This first comment coming in hot off the press. This is from Joya Smith.
What? Not even here.
30 minutes ago. 30 minutes ago.
What are you doing at art class, ma'am?
This is hot off the press. Literally, right when we started the podcast, it came in, and she's calling upon the ladies of the group. Ladies, what is our female equivalent of how often do you think of the Roman Empire? Now, we discussed this on our previous podcast, and Dawson, by the way, saw some clickbaity headline. It's been a thing. It's become its own thing. It's really taken over.
I have definitely been seeing a lot of it too.
That's right. So now there's only one response, and it's not an answer. But I want you guys to think like, what is the female equivalent of that?
It's how often do you think about being murdered? As evidenced by the con that Matt just was able to go to in Orlando, Florida, where thousands of people gathered to talk about potentially being murdered.
And I think they think about that a lot more than men think about the Roman Empire.
I think that's fucking true. I think that might be what women think about the most.
Hey, you know what? With good reason.
I
Listen,
mean,
you work in this fucking industry for long enough, you get fucking freaked out the way that I did too. There's a lot of fucked up people out there.
Well, it's not even just the
It's
industry. I mean, we're talking
It
about
is
women all
bad.
over the world. Yeah.
Yeah,
God, that is really tough.
it's rough, dude.
I can't think of one thing that could stay on that same level as the Roman Empire for women.
Well,
I think Gary's right.
I don't want this to turn into
Fabric
the fucking man
softener?
show.
Would fabric softener work?
Oh
No. See, this is what I'm saying. This is
See,
going
I don't know.
This is
I don't
going down
know.
a bad way.
Oh no.
I don't know.
I think
Erica,
Gary's answer of murder is actually pretty solid.
Erica Delgado responded to Joy's comment saying, "How often do you think you're going to be abducted/killed?"
Oh, hey, there you go.
there you go.
Wow.
There you go.
From a member of the
See, it's
the
good
tribe.
answer because it's specific enough, like the Roman Empire thing, where it does actually apply to a lot of people. Maybe
Yeah.
not all, but a lot of people feel that way, and it's not necessarily a stereotype. So I like that answer.
All right.
I'm going to still posit that women think about fabric softener maybe 3 times a week.
All right, why don't you post a poll on our Facebook group? Let's find out. Facebook.com. Did you even say what the handle is?
Yeah.
All right,
You not
good.
listen to me, Matt.
I don't know. You fucking did so much intense shit at the top of the show. Fucking threw me off.
Intense. Come on. Look, all I do is I says it how it is. Kimberly Evans, and I'm surprised it took until like after week 3 for us to get this, but Jake Bobo on the Seahawks. New receivers. Last name's Bobo.
Yeah, I took a video of them talking about him. They did like an extensive, like 30-second conversation about him after he scored. And I took video. I just never sent it to you guys because I didn't know if you'd care. But it was pretty cool to hear them say Bobo so many times.
I like it. I like it. And Jake, hope you're liking it over there, bud. Jim Blake, and come on the podcast sometime. Everyone get Jake Bobo on this show. That'd be funny. Jim Blake says, I met my wife in a bar 29 years ago today. Damn, I feel old. There was no swiping of any apps, but I did give her my beeper number. And then
Nice, dude.
how everyone met their significant other. We've already gone over that on this podcast, but everyone's replying with theirs. But a beeper number, that's pretty cool. Page me. Page me. baby.
Yeah. I have some legitimate questions. Number one, I imagine that your job made it that you needed a beeper. And number two, I'm also going to guess, it's 29, so this is a stretch, but I'm going to guess that at the time maybe you lived with your parents and you didn't want her calling the home phone. Because I don't know. Or maybe you're just out all the time and that's how you keep contact with people is they say, hey, I need to talk by paging you.
Weren't beepers cool though? Or were they lame?
Yeah.
They were
I was
cool.
gonna say I had one because it was awesome.
Yeah, hey, I got my beep. Just page me, and I'll contact you.
I'll hit you back.
Bat signal. Yeah. I think, although I'm curious, Jim, yeah, let us know, follow up and let us know about Dawson's theory too, because that
Well,
is interesting to me.
because of my when beeper, they were used for drug dealers,
That's why Gary had one.
What?
and that was my
I was kidding, Gary. Don't make it weird.
that was my
What?
experience. If we ever wanted to get weed in high school, we'd have to page somebody, and then he would call us back.
Okay. Every time I think of beepers, at least these days, I mean, not that anyone has one these days, but it was a drug dealer thing. It was like a right. Matt,
That's what it was.
That's how I had to like let my mom know that I was fucking safe. Like that's how I had a beeper, I had a pager, but I was 11 years old or 12 years old.
Right.
Oh yeah. So, man, what a time that was. Just for like a short little window, we had beepers, and that was the thing. Let's see here. Oh, my boy Steve Clacy says, "This was last night in the Valley. Can we get a safety check on Dawson?" And he posted a picture of I won't say a high speed chase because they're going 21 miles per hour, but a police.
Well, it was high speed chase
of a golf cart. And Dawson loves his car chases.
Yeah, I'm disappointed I didn't see this, but that's Burbank Boulevard. I'd like to know what it's in Burbank and what.
Hey Dawson, there's some good accounts on Twitter that you can follow and turn on alerts, and they only tweet when there's a high speed chase going on.
I follow them all.
Pretty fun.
I follow them all, but you still have to be glued to your phone to get,
No, if you turn on
I'm pissed when I miss the alert that you're speaking of.
Yeah.
And I go grab my phone an hour later. I'm like, fuck, I missed a car chase.
Wow. Cannot remember the last time I was away from my phone for an hour, which is not healthy, but just saying.
Oh, dude. One of my favorite things to do, Gary, and you should try this. Walk the dog without your phone.
Then I can't listen to a podcast.
Yeah, I know. You just got to be with your dog.
I use
Say
the
hi to your neighbors.
I was just gonna say there have been several walks that I've talked about on this very podcast where I did not have my phone on me, and it was a huge problem.
Yeah, I do,
Yeah.
Dawson. I do, to your point, like the focus modes where I can like set it that like my wife and like my wife and like maybe one or two other people can get through in an emergency, but anyone else who calls, it goes straight to voicemail. I have no idea.
That's true, and you have a family depending on you, so you need to take your phone.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
About
But anyway, Steve finishes this comment off with, "Does anyone have any good golf cart stories?"
And I read this comment, and I had to email all of you guys, and I'm like, I've got a fantastic one. I'm sure you guys do too.
don't think I have. I don't think I really have one.
Well, Chris, that's because you didn't start golfing until like a year ago.
Yeah.
If you golfed when you were 18, 19, 20, 21, up to 27, 28, 36, you would have some really good golf cart stories.
Well, I want to hear yours.
Well, we were at my friend's bachelor party up at Lake Tahoe, and we were playing the Truckee golf course, which is, it's a muni course in Truckee. It's really, really nice. And there's like 12 of us. We got 3 carts. No, 5. I don't know. We got like, I don't know. Maybe there's something like 8 of us, but we got a lot of carts. And we are running each other over. We are throwing clubs at each other. We're jumping off the cart. We're deliberately crashing into each other. And somebody in the group decides to drive their cart through a sand trap. And chaos. Cart comes out, comes down hard, fucking axle's fucking bent. The thing is, it's not moving. It's not moving anymore. This golf cart is just fucking sitting there. Just about the time when we're all like, dude, you're gonna have to call that in. You just fucking ruined their golf cart. Just as we're deciding this, a kid that works at the course comes by in his golf cart, and he goes, "Hey, what happened here?" And one of the guys at the bachelor party said, "I can't fucking believe that you guys gave us this piece of fucking shit. We almost died because of the way you keep your golf carts. you guys really got to think about and talk to your maintenance crew because we almost died in this thing. Look at this cart. Look at it. And the guy's like, yeah, it looks terrible. He goes, exactly. Now, I need you to go get us another cart now.
Oh.
And then you can deal with this later. And I'm just sitting there going, wow. And the kid goes back, gets us a new golf cart, and then like it never fucking happened. We completely destroyed their property, and no one was held responsible.
If you
And then the other
with authority, it really could
Yeah.
change the whole mood and like the angle of where everyone's coming from, right? Like you just gotta speak with conviction and authority.
Yeah.
And people
And
will
he was the
listen.
first one to talk, and everyone else knew, okay, I'm not saying a fucking word.
Yeah.
We just sat back and watched it happen. But then the other funny golf cart story I have is there's been one time in my life where I turned over the keys. I said, you know what, man? I am too drunk to drive. And I was driving a golf cart.
Oh, very big
Yeah.
of you. And yeah, that's a smart move. Regardless, there are golf cart injuries. There's some bad ones out there. So, I mean, we've also,
Sometimes when you play 18, you can get a little deep with the alcohol.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
only the third hole, but it's still.
I think it was the same weekend, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's all the same. The same, yeah, the same guy, same weekend. All right, dude. Well, there you
What
go.
about you guys? What do you got any?
I don't actually. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I have friends that do, but I'm not going to take their stories. So
My golf cart memories are very innocent. I mean, I did play golf as, like a teenager and stuff, but I don't really have any rowdy stories. But my memories of golf carts are more associated, like as a small child, my grandpa in Palm Springs lived alongside the golf course, and he had like his own golf cart that he could like plug in to like an electrical outlet. And I have just so many memories of essentially like sitting, with my dad and my grandpa just driving around the neighborhood, like letting me steer the wheel and stuff. Like those are like kind of my golf cart, like my more cherished golf cart memories.
that's
But
beautiful.
I don't have any like tipping the golf cart stuff. Although, frankly, I'm sure Gary has one like that. He's a fucking psycho with his friends, right, Laura?
Ah. Yeah, okay. I'll do two, and I'll do them quick, and I'll keep them very vague for reasons you'll learn. But one of them, me and friends may or may not have, definitely sober, broken into a golf course at night and taken a couple of carts that were left unsecured out on the course. And what we didn't realize was that we were not going up hole 1, we were going down hole 18. And before long, somebody, thankfully, no one got hurt and there was no damage that we really knew of. I'm sure there was a little to the course, but not to the cart. Somebody inadvertently jumped off of a sand trap because we were going down an uphill hole. So you couldn't see that it was a sand trap.
Like skate parks.
Yeah.
That one we got away without any real issue. And I don't think any real damage was done. The only other one is one night we were playing a course and we teed off knowing we couldn't finish, right? Sometimes you do that. You play at twilight, you go out, it's 5:30 and it's like, all right, we're going to try to get 13 in, but there's no way we're getting to 18, but we'll get there. And so at the end of the night, when it was like, all right, it's time to stop, it was, all right, let's race back. And at golf courses that are next to a street, there's usually a fence that is tall enough to prevent people or to dissuade people from climbing over. And then above that height, or maybe a little below the top of that height, they install nets so that people who are hitting balls, if they hit the ball towards the street, it'll bounce back into the course and won't damage cars. And what you don't necessarily know or think about is that those nets at the very bottom of them are being held taut by a very thick steel cable, like that woven steel.
Yeah.
While we were racing back, again, definitely sober, to the clubhouse, it's very hard to see those nets and that wire at night, and we did not see it, and we smashed the front upright of a golf cart into it, and we, because that stuff's so strong, we immediately bounced off, but then the front upright looked a little bit like this, It had a nice dent in it, but we were able to basically wedge ourselves in and use our feet to get it mostly straight. And then we took a Sharpie and, painted it back black, turned it in. It was very dark by that point. Wasn't an issue.
A
We
buddy
got
of mine,
Nobody was the wiser.
buddy of mine after high school worked at the municipal golf course in our area, and he was the range guy. And he took one of the golf carts and he took the governor off so we could get up to like 50 miles an hour on this golf cart. And he knew the rotation of the sprinklers there is nothing better in the world than on a wet lawn on the fairway, going as fast as you can, 45, 50 miles an hour. Because it's a golf cart, it's got a low center of gravity. Hit the brake and crank the wheel, and we would just fucking spin out like 7, 8, 9 times. Just
Yeah.
we do that.
You don't
That was
need
a great
the
summer.
governor off to get some of that. You can pull some slide on a moist golf course if you.
Yeah, but with the governor off,
Oh, I'm sure it was way
it's
better.
a whole new game.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
But,
You
just
guys,
gotta
are,
be
fucking awesome.
you guys are animals.
You just gotta be very
Joy
careful
Riding,
with
he
that.
has his fondest memories with 3 generations of fondeliers
Thank
cruising
you.
down the neighborhood, and you guys are causing a ruckus.
I will say, Matt, several people in my neighborhood have their golf carts to various degrees of tricked out, and I am very jealous and wish I could have one. I just have nowhere to put it. Like, you can't leave that on the street. You got to put that in the garage or something, and I don't have any space.
Yeah, I mean, depending on, like, for my grandpa, he basically lived in a retirement community where he just has to kind of like zip up to the like cafeteria and back to the house again kind of idea. And that's beautiful,
Yeah.
That's the life.
Yeah.
May we all have that.
All right, we have 2 more comments left, real quick. So this one, Matthew Phillips, he has gone on like some internet archive of yearbooks or something, but he shared a picture, my senior year photo.
Oh, wow.
What was this hero's name again?
Matthew Phillips.
This is fucking fantastic.
That's
Matthew.
great.
Thank you.
So this is my senior year photo. He says, nice shirt and tie combo. Look, Matthew,
I don't have a problem with that combo.
I'm
Come
a
on,
kid.
man. Let
At
him live.
17, I remember buying this shirt. I went to Express at the mall because I thought that's where the nice shirts are, Express men's. And I went. This shirt was on sale. It was like, it's bold, like me. I can pull this shirt off. Let's go.
That's great.
And
Got
I think that this picture shows you could.
big red shirt. Went to TJ Maxx for a tie because that was discounted too. And I think I stood out because look, senior pictures, they go in color when they go in the yearbook.
Oh, yeah.
So
I was just thinking, I don't know, Doss, do you have a senior picture at your disposal within the next few weeks?
Within the next few weeks, maybe.
Let's go to some
Okay.
yearbook
Find it.
photos one day.
I was just thinking, if you can take a picture of your picture in the next few weeks, I'm also going to be back in my hometown for my sister's wedding coming up, and I can take a picture of my senior picture. And Gary, I'm sure you could get access to yours pretty quick as well.
Corley's
I think
already
it would be
posted
kinda-
mine.
Okay. Oh, really? That's
What are
amazing.
you talking about?
Oh,
That's
it's
a
so
very
good.
nice-
Anyone's listening to this, she's
Oh.
like, Chris, this is in your photo?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Well, anyway, I think it would be fun, and I'm sure Kaylin
It would.
could get his too.
Well-
We should all look at them because I think it's great. Chris, this captures your personality very well, in that it stands out. You were meant for bigger ponds. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man. But there's a lot to be said. We can go over it when we all do our yearbook picture. But Matthew Phillips found this picture. What is this, Dawson?
That is definitely high school.
Wow.
That could be my senior year picture, but I think maybe it's my junior or sophomore. I don't know.
think it's younger. You're younger than a senior in this. But man, you're a cute kid.
What happened, right?
What? I didn't say it. I thought it, but I'm not gonna
I
say
was a
it.
good-looking kid back
No,
then,
I'm
man.
kidding,
Fuck,
buddy.
don't get old, kids.
No,
That's
yeah,
great.
that's a really good picture of you. But
Yeah.
anyway, Matthew, where are you getting these pictures, dude? How are you doing this? All right. Well, anyway, those are our comments, everybody. Now, before we get to our final segment of Shea Fondele, since we got Matt back
Good boy.
in the spotlight, how do you feel about this whole Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey thing happening right now? Have you been
Hold
keeping
on. Hold on. Matt, who's Travis Kelsey?
Yeah, couldn't tell you. I've been contacted. He's a football player for the 49ers.
It's red. They're red.
Close.
They're
The
red.
same colors. I'm gonna call that a win.
All right. I saw some meme about it. I don't know. I honestly, as you guys know, there's so much Taylor Swift content on my Facebook feed
Still?
that frankly is unwarranted. Well,
Still?
I asked for less, and then certain friends of mine decided to start tagging me, and I'm looking at the two of you who are still on this video feed because the two of you are equally responsible for this bullshit, this nonsense.
Some of the most fun I've had in months.
Yeah, we're having a good time doing it.
My point is that I kind of just have to scroll right past stuff. I'm not looking at Taylor Swift stuff. I'm too busy being ratioed and fielding comments.
Matt, I will say that you're very lucky in this instance that you are not a traditional male sports fan, because my fucking social feeds have been obliterated by the fact that this woman went to this football game and then left with
I
him.
didn't even know. She went to a football game. Okay.
She went to a football game with a dude she's been rumored to have been dating for several months. She sat in a suite next to his mom. He scored a touchdown.
Headphones?
Huh?
I said, can I scroll with my headphones? Keep talking.
Oh,
I'm just
you're going to keep listening to this. She sat in a suite with his mom. He eventually scored a touchdown after they had taken it off national TV, throwing the internet into a tizzy. But then they immediately showed the clip. And right after he scored the touchdown, she screamed, "Let's fucking go," at the top of her lungs, and then was seen leaving with him in a convertible after the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
The internet has not recovered.
It's been lit ablaze.
The
So
server is still down. How are people hearing this show?
I just needed to talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelsey for the title because, them keywords right now. All right, let's hear some Shea Fondle.
Oh, no.
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, "Hey, Matt,
What's on the menu?"
Well, again, I'm very excited to have lots of Orlando hotspots to tell you guys about. So I'm spreading it out. We talked a lot about CrimeCon. We talked a little bit about my hotel experience. And so part one of my Orlando experience is really going to be centered around the meals that I had at my hotel and the food available at CrimeCon. I feel like that's really the best way to break this up. Oh, one of my dogs is coming in here right now. So let me say that before I say anything else, how do you guys feel about dining alone? Because again, I'm traveling by myself for this trip.
Fine.
Big fan.
Fine.
Do you guys prefer the bar or a table?
I prefer a bar, but I've also recently dined alone at a place that didn't have that option, and I was perfectly fine at the table.
I have no preference. Just I like it all.
Doss?
If like I go to like a Denny's or something, I'm a counter guy.
What if you're going to like a sports bar though? Like, would you rather sit at the bar and watch TV while you eat?
Yeah, if there's a game on, I like the bar.
Yeah, no, yeah. I will take the bar most of the time.
And then minus a sporting television scenario, what do you guys do when you dine alone? Do you like just scroll through your phone?
I try not to look at my phone at all because I am genuinely worried about my brain and how much I look at my phone, to where I am now trying to discipline myself to look at it less and look up and just kind of look at my surroundings when I'm waiting for things. So like I ate alone the other day and did not pick up my phone. Just looked up. I looked like a weirdo just looking around.
No, I'm glad you said that because that's my game plan as well. I'm a big fan of just staring, I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm going to stare at shit. I'm going to look and see what's going on. I'm going to try to live in the moment. Now, I am much like you guys preferring the bar, but while I was at my hotel, much like I was swimming under the waterfalls and going down the water slide multiple times, I'm dining at a table. So when I first got there, after dipping into the pool, I went to the Calypso Grill, which was...
You're still in your swimsuit.
Oh, yeah, still in the swimsuit. Are you kidding me? They're lucky I even put my shirt back on. That was definitely a thought. But the Calypso Grill was sort of like their Caribbean, pool bar. And I decided to lean into the Caribbean theme. I got a jerk chicken wrap, which Dawson's laughing. I don't know if that's actually Caribbean. I thought it was. It's Caribbean spices, at least. You got the lettuce, the tomato, They had with the fries, ranch dressing, of course. Why wouldn't I ask for anything else? But it was kind of like artichoke ranch dressing, which I was not okay with. I don't know if there was actually artichoke in it, but I was tasting artichoke. To drink, one of my favorite poolside cocktails. I had to have it the second that I arrived in Orlando. This was several hours before the con, and that was a Mai Tai. You got to start your vacation right. So just picture me at a table meant for 4 people, but it's just me. And I'm looking at the pool. I'm just staring. I'm staring at the waterfall, thinking back on those memories from 20 minutes earlier when I was underneath that waterfall, enjoying a Mai Tai and a jerk chicken wrap. Let me tell you, I may as well have been in heaven. That is the equivalent. That's where it was.
Yeah, because the feeling, it's such a good feeling to have that. It's a freedom.
It is.
Not tied down to anything. You're somewhere else. You're somewhere new. It's exciting. Yeah, I get it.
Now,
Matt,
yeah.
Did they not have a different preparation for the jerk chicken? Because I'm just gonna say it. You're not a wrap guy.
I like a wrap. I like a burrito. I like a big tortilla. Come on.
Burritos are different than wraps. Let's not lie to ourselves.
It's like a cold burrito. A wrap is like a cold burrito. And I prefer a sandwich, but it was a wrap on the menu and I'm fine with it. Listen, I'm trying to watch my figure around the pool. I'm trying to be health conscious. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah, wraps are like the vodka soda of food. It's like I feel like you're skimping out on flavor for caloric intake.
I think the better analogy.
There's no butter is the problem.
I have to defend my beloved vodka soda, but I think it's a Michelob Ultra. It's like, why are you lying to yourself?
Good point.
That checks out, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's not even usually like, sorry, to put a finer point on it, the problem with the burrito analogy is that a burrito is a delicious flour tortilla in most scenarios. This is usually some kind of a whole grain, lime.
It was kind of like whole grainy.
Yeah.
That's true. It was. That's a good point, Gary. Yeah. It was not like a true flour tortilla.
Hey, either way, Matt's in heaven though, so it doesn't matter.
It didn't matter. Again, the Mai Tai made it all work. Now, cutting to the next morning, again, I'm just having a little vacate time before the conference. I decide to go for some hotel breakfast because as a kid, we would always stay at hotels and my parents would be like, we're not having breakfast at the completely overpriced restaurant in the hotel. And I don't blame them. But again, I'm traveling by myself. I'm living the dream. I'm going to have a hotel breakfast. So I went to the Tropicale, which is the hotel cafe. And I have myself some Eggs Benedict.
Yeah.
And this is it's near Disney World. It is an international hotel. It's meant to appeal to everybody in the world. It was in no way a fancy, frilly Eggs Benedict. It was 100% what you would expect if you order Eggs Benedict. And it was fine. It was good. I don't know why I would have expected anything more. It delivered 100% on what it should have. So I really can't and shouldn't complain. But I've also had a lot of amazing versions of Eggs Benedict over the years. So
hash browns or home fries? I'm guessing home fries. Or they had some weird potato thing.
It was like fried potato squares, kind of. And again, it was good. It was overpriced, but it's exactly what I expected and what I wanted. So very happy there. And let me just wrap it up here by talking about the food at wrap it up. There we go. God damn, Gary.
This is your condom story.
Glad you're here.
Oh, sorry, the wrap story. Okay, keep going.
The food at the CrimeCon itself, because let me tell you guys, I did not just have an attendee badge. I did not just have a podcaster badge. I had, just going to be honest, the exact same badge that Nancy Grace probably had. I had a speaker badge, which means I was allowed everywhere.
All access, baby.
All access, baby.
Woo, booyah.
What up, craft services?
Booyah, Nancy Grace.
Yeah. Oh, wait, that's
sorry,
disrespectful. How dare you? Let me say there was veggie crudité, some carrots, some celery, a little bit of dip.
So far that badge gets you shit.
Yeah, so far not so much. Pita with 3 different kinds of hummus. There was a regular hummus, pepper hummus, a pesto hummus, some pretzel sticks. They had a pretty bomb spinach artichoke dip with these little crostini things. But let me tell you, dessert is really where they shine. We got cookies, brownies, whoopie pies. Even the dog that's barking in the background knows what I'm talking about. Did I mention that there was no booze at this thing?
Yeah, you did.
Well, I was a fucking idiot on day one because on day two, I realized this convention is attached to a giant hotel that absolutely has several alcohol options. And I discovered the High Velocity Sports Bar where I had myself an IPA. And let me just tell you, after
And you watch some sports?
I did, because I got to tell you, after 3 hours of panels about serial killers and looking at pictures and hearing people say things that were deeply disturbing, I desperately needed a beer, and I was very glad to have found one. Plenty
I've
more.
been to a High Velocity in Indianapolis.
Oh, really? It was in a Marriott. Maybe that's just like part
It
of
was at
their,
a Marriott. Yeah,
there you
maybe it's a
go.
Marriott
That
then.
sounds right. That sounds right. Well, anyway, there are several other meals to discuss. But that's going to be exclusively on Patreon. So check that out, because otherwise, that's what's on the menu.
Damn, Orlando, dude! I didn't. Orlando's rivaling Mammoth right now with how much content and stories is coming out of it. And I was thinking, what is peak Orlando? Is it Orlando, Florida?
Disney World.
Orlando Bloom?
Orlando Bloom.
Oh,
Peak Orlando,
or
right?
Orlando Calrissian.
that's
Or
dare you.
Lando
Oh my God.
Calrissian.
Yeah, so we'll figure. We will figure. We'll get to the
No
bottom.
love for Orlando Jones.
I was thinking of Orlando Jones, but I think Orlando Bloom already is better than Orlando Jones, right? Or should we, as far as the actors go? I don't know.
Yeah, dude. He was like
I love Orlando Jones. Don't get me wrong. I love myself some Orlando Jones.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll figure out peak Orlando at a later date too. But thank you, Matt, for the recap. Now it's
Yeah,
time
the
for-
recap of the pool, cafe, and the hotel.
I mean, I'm glad you brought it up. I didn't
Cafe.
even mention the lava flow that I had, which is, of course, a frozen pina colada with a little bit of
Let's go.
strawberry in it. Oh,
Ooh,
Yeah, lava flows are
that's
nice.
nice.
They're
had a
pretty-
lava flow, read my Kindle by the pool.
Dude, you gotta if you mentioned that at the top, I'd be like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
perfect.
Shit, I forgot.
Mwah.
Well, I'm glad I got it back in.
I will say this, and
Hey,
I can say this from experience. There's no one better than Vacation Matt.
That's right.
Mm.
He's a lovely guy. Lovely.
Vacation Matt's very agreeable.
We love Vacation Matt.
Apparently, I tweet things that I shouldn't.
I disagree.
Thank you.
You tweet fact. You tweet fact. And people can't take it. Sorry. Get out of the CrimeCon kitchen. All right. All right. Well, let's go around the room and get our plugs in, and then we'll GTFO. I'll start with, let's see. Dawson's watching the game, so I'll go with Gary. Gary, what's up with you?
I would like you to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler. I know that you're reeling from all that great Orlando content and that you definitely don't want to miss any portion of it. So that's really the only way that you can ensure that you're going to get the full Orlando story, the full CrimeCon experience. So go check that out and find out how much more finagling Matt was able to do.
I can't wait.
You know what? More isn't fair because he hasn't talked about any finagling so far, but I believe there is finagling to be had.
There's going to be. He'd be a lot more sad if there was zero finagling on the
Yeah.
script.
Well,
That's true.
I also will say I asked him about finagling, and I got a positive indication that there may have been some experience. So I'm confident that finagling lies ahead. Patreon.com/watercooler.
Well, let me just also say the finagling may only happen on our Mall of Money meetup, which is happening as you listen to this today, later today. I haven't decided yet who's going to hear the story.
All
There'll
right.
be some finagling talk on the episode.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe it'll be a little bit more inside baseball on the meetup.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you.
All right, Matt. So
Well, I'll
Matt
just
can
say,
get his plug in. Go ahead.
well, listen, we have a show.
Pass.
It's called The Presumption. Please check that out. Actually, this is a great time to promote the episode that's airing. I'm assuming today we did an episode that is behind the scenes of being a criminal defense attorney. And I basically hosted the episode and asked a bunch of questions. And so, if you want to hear more of my voice, that's a place to do it. The
Behind the scenes
Presumption.
of what it's like to be a defense attorney. That sounds like an idea that's not from 8 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's no. I like it. I know what you're talking about, Gary. But yeah, a live pod. Come on. I love the energy. You hear the audience. Oh wait, I have audio of Nancy Grace's audience at CrimeCon. Here it is. I'll just play it real quick. There it is. So anyway, I'm just saying there's the difference. All right. Now we have Mike Dawson. You got a plug, buddy?
I do got a plug. I just got booked at a new place. I just got booked Saturday night at Zhao Ying Summers Comedy Club on Melrose.
Hey.
It's called the Hollywood Comedy, which I assume they mean the Hollywood Comedy Club, but it's the Hollywood Comedy. And 7:30 show. I get to do 6 to 8 minutes, which is better than the regular 5. I don't have free tickets for this one, but follow me at Los Angeles and I'll give you the ticket info.
Hey.
It's my first time with a new club, which is fucking great. But it always helps if some people show up. So
And that's a good
Los
part of town.
Angeles. I hope you can make it Saturday night, and then I'll probably be at the Chateau on Friday.
Boom. See, Dawson's freaking killing it right now. And Zhao Ying's hilarious. And also, Matt, you better have some more Austin hotspots coming up because I know Dawson has a trip planned as well. So I'm sure we'll hear about that in the future. All right. And then as for me, just be good to each other. And we will see you later this week for Patreon. We love you. Goodbye.